Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we've got a new proposal up and it's a very interesting one to say the least. There's a lot being stated and a lot of assumptions, and ultimately the whole thing is just wrong, and to try and act like things are this way is very unusual, but I believe this is all coming from a very specific group of people. Being the narrative, I'm not going to target people. I'm not going to get caught down in the slogger. I'm simply just going to give my perspective, my current known understanding of the situation from my point of view, and bring up some factual information along the way. So the proposal we are talking about is 12091, repeal prop 12033, and this being the KYC prop. If you're wondering what wallet system I'm using the LUNC system. That's right, we have our own wallet integration. We've got all of our own technology for you guys to use and utilize, and it can never be weaponized against you ever again. Now, moving forward. So let's take a look at this proposal. Let's have a read and let's discuss it afterwards. So the king is naked. We as a concerned community members call to repeal the KYC prop because it stifles the growth of the Terra Luna Classic. This proposal was made in haste and voted in haste without sufficient foresight about the consequences it will have in the future. This is clearly evidenced by the number of follow-up props trying to patch up the deficiencies of the initial KYC prop that is not serious at all. Spilled water cannot be gathered up again. So we as LUNC investors have watched from the sidelines, and it is clear that the negative effects of KYC outgrow the positive ones by far. Not only that, but also many authoritative members of the LUNC community have been very vocal about the negatives of KYC, and they consider it to be a bad direction to go in for a decentralized blockchain. Nobody is going to touch the repeg idea. As a KYC'd individual, we must get and receive all help we can, including from Iron Man and others. We believe we are not alone in thinking this, and we are not happy with the direction we are going right now. At the same time, we understand the initial yes vote was made with good intentions in mind. However, as we all know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So therefore, we propose to repeal proposal 12033 and let any and all developers work on the chain. Any developers can still KYC if they wish to do so. The community will be more than happy to welcome such developers on board. However, that should not be a mandatory requirement at all. So I have a few issues with this. There's no developers, that have wanted to work on the chain, that haven't proposed and haven't been rejected and pushed away by validators on this blockchain. Now, for starters, the L1 themselves asked for payment for work, even though they hadn't been paid for almost a year moving forward. They were rejected by the validators and the community members that voted no. So you remove those from play. The LUNC development team, guess what? They proposed to come in and do the tax to gas. The validators said no. The community said no. Each one of these groups put the effort into getting KYC'd. Now, the only development team currently working on chain are Genuine Labs, and Genuine Labs themselves are KYC'd. So I don't see where these issues are popping up apart from Iron Man. And I myself have my own quarrels with this Iron Man person. I don't know who they are. I've never spoken to them, never been in any group chats with them ever, even when I was doing work to help the developers set up different aspects of different things. Never met him, never even spoken to him. And in itself, right, I don't want to be in a situation like that where as a validator, I don't even know who this Iron Man guy is that's working on the chain and doing all of this work. For all we know, it could be someone like Tobias just getting paid in the background and you guys would never know. But if you knew that was Tobias, you'd probably be very unhappy with it. Now, I could be totally wrong, but at the same time, anything's possible in crypto. No shots fired there. Specifically, I'm just kind of giving my perspective on things and looking at it from my point of view. And my point of view is the validators and community have removed people who were KYC'd, had done the effort to get KYC'd because you didn't want to pay them, because you didn't want them to work on the chain. So now you only have Genuine Labs who are providing you guys, right, with just bug fixes, bug updates, and opening gates to the TFL community to come here and pillage and plunder, just like Jesus is Lord has 3 nodes now, and just like Terra C Vita has 3 nodes. So there's all sorts of different issues going on, and I just don't think KYC is one of them. The biggest issue on this chain at the moment is decentralization coming in the form of multiple nodes being run. Now, it's not a simple situation where you can simply just go to yourselves, well, we'll just put a proposal up to say nobody can run multiple nodes, because the community themselves, right? Let me break this down for you. You would need to distinguish between a few different things. A, what someone networking nodes, okay, for their business is, and what a non-custodial validator provider is, okay? And then someone who's an individual who's running multiple nodes under one name, okay? And those are the three things you need to distinguish, because if you try to enforce the rule of not running multiple nodes on chain, there's going to be an argument with PFC nodes and all nodes, because they provide nodes to people. And the argument would be, well, they're networking. So my argument would be, well, they don't control those nodes nor their voting power. Okay. But if you did enforce a rule, right, and it did pass through governance, they could therefore say to people who were renting the infrastructure through them, it's against the rules. We can't actually allow you to do that. And it would be a powerful message and a powerful tool moving forward. But the community would need to distinguish that. Validators would need to distinguish that. And it's just too much of an issue. It's just too much of a drama. So you've got all of these people who are acting like KYC is the issue, when really the biggest issue is those pillaging and plundering the blockchain. And the saddest part about it is the people who are doing this are the ones that have been voting down, you know, the removal of the 0% commission rates. And it's them who prosper and profit most from it. And in effect, they're actually helping other people do it. So they create more issues, which are more or less like shields for them. So you've got all of these issues to go through before you actually get to the main issue. So once again, right, because greed runs the chain, because it's currently balanced to that side of things, if you were to propose a situation where you would prevent running multiple nodes, there would need to be distinguishment on all sides, and the community would need to acknowledge that. And the only issue is nobody's going to do that. It's such a hard road paved to get yourself involved with, to get a lot of grief over, to ultimately get it to go nowhere. It's a very peculiar situation. So once again, from my point of view, right, this proposal to repeal the KYC is just very strange, because there are no developers that want to come here and work that won't abide by this other than Einon Man. So one developer which would likely just join on, okay, to Genuine Labs and continue doing what they've always been doing, providing bug fixes, doing nothing, not being responsible for anything that happens on this blockchain. And when it all goes wrong, it actually falls to people who are here every single day, the ones who produce content, or the ones that are there all of the time in spaces or whatever. They're the people that get moaned at, because they're the ones that are there as a point of contact. So that's how it is from my point of view. That's how it is from my perspective. As much as people don't like it and probably turn their nose up at it, that's just a reality of things. I'm just an individual, right? And back when everybody kind of like staked with me, I had a chance of preventing these kind of situations from unfolding and playing out. Whereas now we just don't, because there's so many people chasing those silly 0% commission rates that nothing stays where it should stay. So what I would say is, if you want to change things, it falls down to you to decide who you feel you should stake with, who can actually make a difference, can provide you guys the tools you need, and provide all of the other different things whilst preventing this malicious kind of behavior. And at least we would have a chance and an opportunity, if that does happen, to actually get proposals like this put forward, considering it's going to be a long road to pave and probably a few proposals moving forward. And once again, another argument would be with the proposal, well, you can't enforce this in an automated way. No, you would have to manually enforce it, but at least then, right, it would all be seen as malicious behavior. They couldn't turn around and go to you, well, there's no governance guidelines to say that I can't do this. There would be a guideline, okay? And if any of these big greedy players in the game, it would put them in a position once again where it shows their true colors. And if they vote no, they will be seen as the bad, malicious people that they are, acting in the malicious manner that they are to centralize things and remove all of the small people so they can consume the blockchain. But it's just my opinion, like I said, folks. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. And yeah, other than that, guys, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.